Good day, my name is Angelo. This is Nation Voice Tower, your most preferred YouTube channel. How have we been? We have always checked where there are wrongs in the country, and we try to put it right by making it public. But the federal government is saddled with the utmost responsibility to take up these cases because they have lots of these evidences in their archives, in different archives of anti-graft commissions and other security agencies. So the government has the utmost power to take up these particular cases, but lots of times they pay deaf ears to this particular exposés, but we'll continue to say them because it is the right of the Nigerian people to know what is being done with their public funds. Now, I was not elated to when the present chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ola Olukayode, was appointed by Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Why? You know why? Because I felt it was a repayment of reward. It was a reward for a job well done to Yemi Osibanjo. It was a truce between Yemi Osibanjo and Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his wife Remi Tinubu. Now, how? Yemi Osibanjo, former vice president under President Muhammadu Buhari, stepped down sometime or gave way sometime I would say rather Oluremi Tinubu and Bola Ahmed Tinubu sometime gave way for Yemi Osibanjo to emerge as vice president under President Muhammadu Buhari because Bola Tinubu was allegedly seen as somebody with a dented past. I brought you that update some days back. That was the agreement between them in 2011 when Nuhu Ribadu was abandoned and President Muhammadu Buhari was projected as the flag bearer of the All Progressive Congress at that time. All right. So furthermore, one thing led to another, and kaboom! We traced that the EFCC chairman, now Ola Olukayode, formerly worked for Yemi Osibanjo in Lagos under his chambers as a lawyer. Of course, you know that Ola Olukayode is a lawyer by profession, just that he has worked with the commission for some time. So, this expose, I'll be exposing how the present EFCC chairman, Ola Olukayode, was suspended sometime under the government of President Muhammadu Buhari over alleged fraud and, a kind of involving former Vice President Yemi Osibanjo, conniving together with former Vice President Yemi Osibanjo, and also how that particular agreement brought in Bola Ahmed Tinubu and what made him emerge as EFCC chairman to this day. The chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, who was the former executive secretary of the same commission under former suspended chairman Ibrahim Magu, Mr. Olukayode Olanipekun, was suspended alongside 11 others with immediate effect in what appeared in those times to be a clean sweep of the commission. The notice of suspension was communicated to the acting chairman of the commission, Mr. Muhammad Umar, on Tuesday night, one of the days that the suspension of Ibrahim Magu was made public. This particular notice of suspension was signed straight from the office of the Attorney General of the Federation. Sources with investigations revealed that Olanipekun was a front of Vice President Yemi Osibanjo during the time of former President Muhammadu Buhari, who worked in his law chambers sometime in Lagos before becoming Secretary of the Commission. Suspended Chairman Ibrahim Magu was now suspended and the agency's Director of Operations, Muhammad Umar Abba, was appointed to oversee its operations. Muhammad Abba is not part of the officials that were suspended. It will be recalled that Olukayode was appointed Secretary of the Commission in November 2018 following his confirmation by the Senate. Ola Olukayode, a former Chief of Staff to Magu, replaced one Mr. Emmanuel Aremo, whose 5-year tenure expired in July 2018. Magu was allegedly facing the second week of grilling by the Justice Ayo Salami-led presidential panel over some weighty allegations of improprieties, money laundering, insubordination, and misconduct. Other crimes by Magu were reluting funds recovered by the commission and accepting bribes to pervert justice. Magu was also accused of allegedly failing to give a proper account of some missing 332 out of the 836 recovered real estate properties as of March 2018. Magu was also further accused of mismanagement of recovered assets by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission and helping the panel to resolve wide discrepancies in figures of recovered monies published by the agency. Alright, recall that Ibrahim Magu, the former suspended EFCC chairman, was the chairman when Ola Olukayode was his chief of staff in the commission. Alright, one thing led to another. Magu was suspended, and then Olukayode, together with 11 others, were suspended. Now, he was suspended not just because Magu was suspended or because they had a hand in one or two things, but he was alleged and found out to be the front for former Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, which he used to launder billions of naira from the Nigerian coffers. So why, my question now on the expose is, number one, why is he now the EFCC chairman? Is the commission now meant for people that have a questionable character, or people that are ex-convicts, or people that have have a bad past or dented past, or is it because of the Bola Tinubu syndrome that they are now, everybody with a bad past is now given a position or an appointment? Secondly, how did he become the chairman? How? He didn't qualify. I told you people he did not qualify sometime for the chairman, for the seat of the chairman of the commission. Now, an ex-convict being a chairman, how? Does it happen? It does not happen in the commission. But this time around, it has happened under Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, if they tell us he is not an ex-convict, that means he wasn't guilty. Then why did the federal government suspend him in that time? Why? That means they found him guilty of having something to do with Yemi Osinbajo within the background, and he was suspended. So, that brings us to the conclusion that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is repaying Osinbajo for allowing him to step down sometime in 2011 as a form of truce between them. I am stepping down and I'm allowing you to take charge. So pay me back. That is that on that particular expose. Now I would like to talk secondly on the opposition political parties in the off-cycle elections in Imo State. They have briefed newsmen in a press conference on their reactions, and they have gone further to reveal lots of secrets that were embedded in the election process on Saturday, 11th November 2023. Please stay tuned.
To set the record straight and let the whole world know the truth of what transpired. You may have heard that INEC and the returning officer, one Professor Aboyemi Fasin, had purportedly, I use that word, purportedly declared Hope Uzodinma as the winner of the election conducted on November 11, 2023. That is a complete falsehood, because Hope Uzodinma did not, by any stretch of imagination, win that election. As a matter of fact, what happened on November 11 was not an election properly so called. It was a big shame to INEC and to our democracy. We will go straight into what transpired. First of all, there were so many places that elections did not hold. Of prominence is Osun local government. Election did not hold anywhere in Osun local government. But during collation, we saw a returning collation officer coming to present a result emanating from Osun. There was no election in that place. There are so many other local governments that election did not hold. If you go to Idato North, in Izuogu Ward 1, Izuogu Ward 2, Iheme and Indi Moko, election did not hold there. We heard that they hijacked the material and took it to the house of one Chief Innocent Anozie Omeremba in Akokwa. There they used policemen to barricade the road and provided security cover for them to rig election. The governor Hope Uzodinma also visited that premises while this rigging was going on. You go to Orlu, 7 wards in Orlu, election did not hold. They sat in one place in Ami Ipeke and wrote results. That continued to so many local governments in Okigwe, in Onimo, and so many other places. Election did not hold. In other words, there was no election outrightly at all. Some other places, they hijacked the materials, took it to unknown destination and wrote results. And INEC staff collaborated and worked with them throughout all this. If you recall, before the election, we have laid a lot of complaint and concern concerning the INEC rep in Imo State, Professor Sylvia Ago. We have told the whole world that she was compromised, and she is still compromised. We called on the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakub, to redeploy Professor Ago, but for reasons best known to them, they retained her in Imo State to do a hatchet job. INEC compromised heavily in this election. Security agencies, particularly the Nigerian police, also compromised, aided and abetted APC while they rigged this election. They wreaked havoc on Imolites, intimidated Imolites, and unleashed violence of high proportion during the election. Imo State was heavily policed on the day of that election, but we have not heard of anywhere there was serious intervention by the security agents while all this thing happened. Who from the first word that came out from his mouth exhibited that he was sent to Imo State to do a hatchet job. He was sent to Imo State to go and return Hope Uzodinma, whom they had already supplied him with pre-written results. From the moment he sat down, he started issuing orders and commands. He made it very clear to us that he has come here to hurriedly collect the result and declare a winner.
All right, that was the video there. I would not say much on the election process because we all know what happened and we're looking forward to what happens at the courts. Well, finally, Mr. Kamarudin Ogundele, Senior Special Assistant on Communications and Publicity to the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, has spoken on an interview. He has called out the Labour, that is the NLC and the TUC, and said that the right action against Labour will be taken at the appropriate time. He said Labour had no right to call off the strike. Labour are in contempt of court, according to Kamarudin Ogundele. Please stay tuned for his interview.
Well, I wouldn't want to talk about whether they are trying to allege that the federal government is in contempt of court. Maybe that is what they think that we should also purport them to also flout the order of the court. The federal government has never disobeyed the order of any court. But it is obvious that the labor unions, they are out to disrupt the peace enjoying the country. Because number one, they cannot claim that they are not being served. I put it to you that the order of the court made on Friday, the first order was that there be proper service on the walls of fence of the last known addresses of the labor unions, which that have been done.
Right.
The orders were pasted on the wall of the labor house in Central area and in Asukuru, which is the last known address of the Trade Union Congress. That is one. Then secondly, the originating summons and the motion notice and the ex parte order, they have been published in 2 national dailies. They have been published in The Nation, they have been published in Daily Trust. So they have no reason to claim that they are not aware.
Right. But you're from the Attorney General's office. What are you going to do about the fact that, from your point of view, they have flouted that court order? Are you going to take them to, are you going to charge them, well, take them to court? Contempt of court?
What I can say is that the right action will be taken at the appropriate time. Well, as it is today, they are in contempt of court, and we can only wish that they purge themselves of the contempt of the court. The courts, it's not meant to be disrespected. We cannot resort to self-help. The reasons why the courts are there is to serve as habitats, to adjudicate, to ensure justice and fairness. So if they feel that even the order, no matter how bad you think an order is, an order of the court is, it must be respected. The only option you have is to go to the court to challenge the order, which they have not done. But from the discussion you had with the TUC president, you can see that they are determined to go the whole length to disobey the court order.
Thanks so much for staying thus far. Well, he's from the government and he works for the Attorney General, so he has the right to say whatever he wants to say. We will see where all these things end if the government will not comply with the NLC and the TUC. Thank you so much for staying this far. Please like and share our videos. Don't forget to drop a comment for us in the comment section. If you're watching me for the first time, please tap the subscribe button and the notification bell too, so that you get to see me when I drop a new update. See you next time. Bye.